Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time stopping by here, my name is Grace and I share sewing tutorials and DIYs on this channel. In this tutorial, we're going to be learning how to cut and sew this trendy gorgeous dress, so make sure that you watch this tutorial till the end. And this tutorial is going to be separated into two parts. This one is going to be the pattern drafting and cutting, and the sewing will come after it. So let's get into the video and start learning. These are the materials that I will be needing to make this dress. So I have crepe here and also a chantilly lace or chantilly net. So this crepe is 3 yards of crepe, and the chantilly net is just 1 trouser. And I also have my pattern paper and the measurements. So the measurement that I'll be using is bust size 34, waist 26, hip 38, half length 16, bust point 9, under bust 13, full length 40, and also the back 16. So from the top of my pattern paper like this, I'll draw a straight line, then take my vertical measurements. So the first vertical measurement I'll mark is my bust point at 9 inches, as you can see. Then I'll draw a straight line across that. Then the next one I'm going to mark is the under bust measurement at 13 inches. I'll also mark that and draw a straight line across. Then the next one will be the waistline. So from the first line, I will go down to 16 inches, which is the waistline that I'm working with, and I'll also draw a straight line across. I'll also go ahead and mark the hip line of this person at 23 inches. Then draw a straight line across. And I'm just going to maintain the full length of this pattern paper for the full length of this dress, because I'm working with full length 40 inches. So I'm just labeling the lines. This is the shoulder line, this is the bust point, this is the under bust, this is the waistline, this is the hip line, and this is the full length of the dress. So the next thing is to get my chest line, and I will just come down to 7 inches from my shoulder. To get your chest line, you just have to divide your bust circumference by 6 and add 1.5 or 2 inches to that. So once I've placed the chest line, I'll go ahead and divide the shoulder measurement into 2. I'll place it on the shoulder line and also on this chest line as well. Then I'll draw a straight line like this. Then I'll proceed to take the neck width and the neck depth. So I'm using 3 inches by 3 inches for the neck width and the neck depth, and I will use my curved ruler to create a curved neckline like that. Then on this line, I will come down by 1 inch and I will slant that into the neckline to form my shoulder slope. After this is done, I'm going to mark what I have here left on the line. I'll divide it into 2 and come in by half of an inch. Then I'll place my bust circumference measurement divided by 4 on the chest line, and I'm going to connect together like this with a curve to form my armhole curve. So the next thing is to place the nipple to nipple measurements. So on the bust point, I'll mark the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 and place on the bust points the under bust, the waistline, and also the hip line. So the nipple to nipple divided by 2 that I'm working with is 3.5 inches. After I've marked that on all my lines, I'm going to draw a straight line to connect those points together. Now the next thing I'm going to do is that on this under bust line, I'm going to come out of each side of this straight line by 1 inch on both sides, and I'll mark that. So after I'm done marking it, I will also do the same thing on the waistline and also on this hip line. Then I will use my straight ruler to connect those points together on each side. So this is to get the under bust tightening. So I'll then come down from the bust point by half of an inch, and I will use my curved ruler to create a curve from that point to meet the under bust on both sides like this. So once this is done, the next thing is to determine the cup height of this dress. That is where the dress is going to end before the yoke will start. So I'm just marking 1 inch above my chest line for this, and if you want, you can also maintain the chest line, but if you don't want your cleavage to show, you can just come up by 1 inch or 1.5 inch. So I'm going to be extending the nipple to nipple line also to that chest line area. as well. So on that new line, I'll mark 0.75 inch on both sides, come up from the bust point by half an inch again, then I'll connect those 2 points to meet the bust point like this. So once this is done, I'm just going to mark out my dart areas that I will be cutting away, and I will measure what I have in between that dart there and replace it on the chest line area here. So my armhole will extend to that place like that. Then on this waistline, I'll divide my waist measurement by 4. I'll place that and mark whatever I have in between the dart and replace it. Then I'll connect like this. Also on the hip line, I'll place the hip measurement divided by 4 and also mark what I have in between the darts and connect with a curve as well. Now at the full length of the pattern, I'm just going to measure whatever I have on this hip line and place it at the full length area. Now I will cut this out. So I'm cutting it out by the side first and also the neckline and the shoulder slope. Then I will cut out this part that is going to be the yoke. Now to work on the stylish curve that we have in front and that beautiful line in the middle, I'm going to come down from the waistline by about 6 inches, and from the midpoint like this, I will just mark in like 2 inches. So depending on how wide or how tiny you want that middle part to be, that's what you are going to work with here. So I just want mine to be like 4 inches when it's opened up at the end of the day. That's why I'm marking these 2 inches, and I marked it all the way down from that 6 inches below the waistline point. I hope you understand that. So I'm going to connect those points down with a ruler now. Now at the waistline area here, I'll just come down by, let's say, 1 inch like this, and I'll use my curve now to connect to that 6 inch below the waistline point at the middle. So if you don't have a curve like this, you can also use your free hand to do it as well. You just have to make sure that it curves a little bit like this. So after connecting it, this is what I have. I will just blend it in with my marker like that so that it will not be too sharp. Then I will go ahead and cut this out like this. So after cutting it, I will also cut out the dart areas like this on the upper part of the pattern, as you can see. Then I will go ahead and notch my bust points on the patterns. So on this middle point, when I was filming it, I didn't know it was not recording. I just went in by half of an inch and came down by like 2 inches or 2.5 inches. Then I cut it out with a slant so that we have that front opening, but I didn't know it was not recording when I was doing it, so that's why I'm illustrating it now. So let's work on the opening on the yoke area. So from that neckline, I will come down by 1 inch like this. Then from this side, I will come in by 2 inches, or you can do 2.5. Then I will connect with a curve to create that opening in front. So once I curve it like this, I'll just go ahead and use my scissors to cut this out. So can you see? So this is the front yoke, because the back is also going to have yoke as well. This is the center front, this is the side front, and this is going to be the gathered area. So I labeled it G. Now let's work on the back pattern. So I've already drawn out the lines so that we don't waste time, and also added zipper allowance. So that's the shoulder line, this is the chest line, this is the bust point, this is the waistline because we don't need under bust here, this is the hip, and the full length will be the length of this pattern paper. So on the back pattern as well, I'll go ahead and divide my shoulder measurement into 2 and place it on the shoulder line and on the chest line as well. Then connect those 2 points together. And for the neckline of the back, I'm going to be using 3 inches wide. Then I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope on this line and connect it to the 3 inches neck width. And to get the armhole curve of the back, I'm going to be dividing my bust circumference into 4. I'll place it on the chest line, then I'm just going to curve it into that straight line like that. So for the neck depth, I'm going to be maintaining this chest line because it's going to be a V-shaped neckline at the back. So I'll just connect it to meet the chest line like that, and I'll just connect it out of the zipper allowance area like that. So I'll place my nipple to nipple divided by 2, starting from the chest line to the bust point to the waistline. So I'm just marking 3.5 inches from that line after the zip allowance, and I marked it up to the hip line. Then I will connect with a straight line, and on the waistline I will come out on each side of the straight line by 1/2 inch, then connect that to the chest line. So this is me drawing the darts for the back pattern. I'll connect that to the chest line, and from the hip line I'll come up by 2 inches and also connect it from the waist to meet that point as well. So I'll place my waist measurement divided by 4 on the waistline, mark it, and also replace what I have inside the dart, which is 1 inch, and I'll connect from the chest line to the waistline. And also on the hip line, I'm going to mark my hip circumference divided by 4 and connect from the hip line as well. Then I'll place whatever I have on the hip line on the full length of the dress like that. So to mark this area for the back, I'll place my front pattern on it like this, making sure that I have what I have in the middle of the front also in the middle of the back. Then I'll pin this down. So it doesn't really have to align at the sides because the front is definitely wider than the back, but it just has to align at that front part so that you will have that same 2 inches in that middle. I hope you understand. So I'm going to cut this out as well. I'm cutting the sides first and also the neckline and shoulder slope area. Then on the waistline, I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch for my zipper bulge elimination, and I'll connect that up like this and also just connect it down with a slant. So this is to eliminate zipper bulge. So I'm going to be cutting that area out and also this darts area as well. So these parts I'm cutting off from the chest line will serve as the back yoke, and I'll also cut this curved area and the zipper bulge area, and I'll also cut out the darts as well. So these are the back patterns. So this is the back yoke, this is the center back, this is the side back, and that's other one is the gathered area. So to cut on my fabric, I already have my fabric folded into 2, and of course the center front is on the folded edge while I place the other ones randomly on the fabrics because they don't have to be folded. So on the side front, I'm adding 1 inch allowance for sewing. This fabric stretches a little, so I don't want the allowance to be too much, and I'm also adding that 1 inch to the side back as well. That's for sewing allowance, as you can see. So on other parts, I'm just going to add 1/2 inch allowance on all the other parts that is going to need joining. So I'm just cutting this out, as you can see. So just go ahead and cut out your patterns. So after cutting, I'll go ahead and notch the bust point on the center front and side front. And also for the yoke, I'm cutting them out on this chantilly net or chantilly lace. So the front yoke doesn't have to be on the fold, since it's going to be separated with ropes in front at the end of the day. So I added half an inch allowance to the parts that will be joined to the down part and also to the shoulder area. Then I just cut every other side the same as the pattern, as you can see. So for this part that is going to be the gathers, I'm not using a slash and spread method. So I folded my fabric into two like this, and I make sure that it's very wide. I folded all the fabrics that I have left. Then I'm going to pin it by the side on the folded edge like this. So the side of the pattern is on the folded edge. Then from the top, I'm going to measure what I have down to that curved area. So I had 6 inches. So I will come to this side like this, the other part of the fabric that is not folded, and mark down 6 inches from the top of the fabric, so that when I want to cut it at the side, I'm just going to curve my hand to meet that 6 inches. So just watch what I'm saying as I cut this out. So I'm going to cut from the top of the fabric like this, just making sure that it rhymes with where the pattern started, and I will cut it down all the way. So when I get to a point at this side now, I'm just going to like give it a curve. You know that curve that is already on the pattern, I'm going to curve it in like this to meet that 6 inches point. I hope you understand, so that it will be balanced at the end of the day. So after cutting it out like that, then I'm going to also cut the length of this pattern. So when I was cutting the other part of the pattern the other time, I added 1 inch to the full length. So I'm adding that 1 inch to the full length of this one as well, so that everything will rhyme together. So make sure that your hand is actually straight when you are doing this, so that you will get the accurate measurements, and the dress will not be looking funny at the side at the end of the day. So I'm just going ahead to cut this out. So this is it. So this is just one for one side. I'm going to cut another one exactly like this for the other side, and I will notch this edge like this, and also these other parts, which is like the where the curves are. I hope you understand where the straight line ended and the curves began. So for the sleeve, I already have my chantly net folded into 4 like this. So I'm trying to see which chalk is more visible. Then I drew a straight line, and also I'll mark the full length that I want this sleeve to be. So the full length of my customer sleeve normally is 21 inches, but I'll mark 25 inches because I want it to be very long. And I will also mark that 21 inches as well. Sorry that this chalk is not showing, but just follow what I'm doing. So I marked my armhole curve of the sleeve. Then I will measure to be sure it will be okay for the size I'm working with. And on this 21 inches mark, I will measure the round sleeve divided by 4 and place that. Then I will connect with my ruler. So from that point, I'm just going to draw like a sharp edge to meet that 25 inches mark, so that we have like this flared effect. So just watch as I'll cut this out so you understand better if you don't see the chalk. So this is what the sleeves look like, and I will just notch it at the middle. So at this point, I will have to pause the tutorial here and make this tutorial into a 2 parts. So make sure that you stay tuned for the part 2, where we are going to join all the pieces together and get these beautiful, gorgeous results. Don't also forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. See you in the next tutorial.